What's going on, guys? Today we're going to be doing a Python chat server using threads. Code's going to be written in Python 2.7. We're going to have a single script for both the server and the client, and we're going to try to break this down into 6 or 7 parts. So before we dive into the code or anything, let's do a brief overview. So let's go ahead and jump into the program, what it's going to look like once it's finished. So this is basically the main screen you have here, and we have one client connected right now, but let's go ahead and connect to another client that's here on my network, just so you can have an idea of how the program's gonna run. So action 1, connect. We put the IP address and the port. And there we go, we're negotiating the connection. And you can see we're outputting the status as it's connecting. Alright, so it finished the connection, and now the main server is listening for more connections. Now let's say we want to activate one of these clients, right? You see there is a number here right next to each client. That would be the amount of notifications, so the unseen messages from that client. So let's see what this first client messaged us. Number 3. And alright, these are the messages. So if I were to reply back, now let's say I wanted to go and interact with the other client. And you can see we're keeping timestamps of what's going on, and we're also keeping the logs separate for each client, right? So if I come back here, it shows you just the conversation I had with this client. That's one of the benefits of using threads both as a client and a server. So we're spawning 2 threads for each connection pretty much. So let's return to the overview now so we can take a look at some of the objectives of this tutorial and also some of the proceedings from this program. So the main server thread is always going to listen for a single client. Now once a client connects, we're going to spawn a new server and client for each one. So it's a dual connection, and like I said, this is going to be a single script, so it's not like you have a separate server script and a separate client script. It's basically all in one, right? Alright, so after we finish the connection like you just saw, the main server is going to go ahead and listen to another connection. So basically it's always listening, and then receives a connection. We go ahead, spawn the threads, and close that server back and listen again for the next client that's going to connect. And one of the other things we're going to learn is how to present the simple text interface, which is going to include the clients along with the notifications like we just saw. Also the active chat window, so it's basically a separate conversation for each client. And also the server and client thread status, which I did not show. So let's go ahead and bring back up the script. And if you see here, option number 2 says status. So that's basically keeping a log for everything that's happening on the Python chat server, along with status on the threads. So let's run that. So this is all the connections, and if we go back towards the top, it shows you the active server threads, the active clients, and the active socket objects. So you can see here the logs. Yeah, and it shows the ports, all that good stuff. So this was the basic overview. Next video, we're going to be jumping into some code and getting started with the project. See you next time.